Hey everyone, SugarT here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm chatting with I think I'm real. Say hi. Hi.
Hey there. Hi. You can call me, for the sake of simplicity, you can call me real. That's
No
that's the
worries,
easiest
no
way.
worries. Yeah, I think that'd be a bit easier. I was looking at your name before and I'm thinking, I wonder if I just call him Hit him if
Hit
he'll
him.
like that. Hit him. Yeah,
Yeah, whatever
acronym.
works.
Yeah. So yeah, so but, first thing I'll address before we get into it, some people have been asking me, how come you're doing so many streams lately and not as many videos? Now, I actually have taken a little break. Being me and Bering had a nice little break during this whole YouTube turmoil crap, which is very depressing.
Of
But
course.
there's feeling good, feeling ready to make some videos, and we're going to get back into it. So fear not, videos are coming. But in the meantime, I am enjoying the streams. I'm liking to talk to people. It's something a little bit lighter.
I've been
So,
enjoying them too.
oh, thank you. You've been watching?
Yeah, I was just watching the stream with Brit, with a bit of Brit, who
Oh,
I'm a big
yeah.
fan of. Yeah,
Oh, I love Brit too. She's such a lovely girl.
yeah. I've been chipping
Um,
away at that one. Like 15 minutes here and there whenever I get a chance to like sit down
yeah,
and
yeah. Well, I love streams. I love listening to streams, especially when you have the time, especially if you're driving somewhere, you got a long way to go. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I love
absolutely.
streaming. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So just intermittently, I'll read out super chats. Sorry, so I don't fall behind. Victorous says hello, Shiltits. Hello, Victorous22. Thank you. Charming man. Hi, charming man. Oh, here we go. Yes, that's right. Oh, here we go. Charming man, also another very good YouTuber who needs to do more videos.
That's got to be a record. You've got two super chats in what is that, 2.5 minutes? That's fantastic.
Oh, it's pretty good, yeah. But you want to go on AntiWar Ski's. I don't know. He's got the BDC, the Big Dick Club, and
The Big Dick Club.
yeah. So you see what he's doing. He's pandering to egos. So if you wanna be in the BDC, if you wanna have a big dick, then you got to give me some cash.
That's
It
fantastic.
fucking works. It fucking works. He's a legend.
I'm always weary of people who outwardly say that their dicks are of a size, because that usually is an
Yeah,
indication that they're not. Right? Isn't that like sort of the
absolutely.
rule? Is that like if you even talk about the size of your
Yeah.
what would we call it? Your
Your
flagpole, your totem,
sex junk.
your sex junk,
Oh.
yeah, your cotton candy machine. Um,
Yeah,
then usually that's an indication that you're being dishonest about yourself. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll leave that one.
absolutely. Well, have you ever heard the rule of three, which relates to men and women?
I've heard it in comedy, but I don't know about men.
Yeah. Well, it's basically if a man says I've slept with three women in the last 6 months, usually means he slept with one. And if a woman says she slept with three men, it usually, I know, yeah, it usually means it's been more, or she's
It's
hooked
been
up. Maybe not slept with,
15.
hooked up. Let's just say hooked up.
Of
You know,
course.
not all women are sluts. Not
No,
pushing it.
no.
No,
But if anyone out there is, I completely no slut shaming here. That doesn't happen.
no slut shaming. No,
Absolutely
absolutely. No, we don't do that here. Wolverine says, "Good day, sugar tits." Thank you, Wolverine. Good day to you, or good night, maybe rather.
Speaking of
So
which, what time is it out where
yeah,
you are right now?
it's just past 1:30 p.m. So it's yeah, just after sort of mid-afternoon.
Wow,
Yeah.
the future is bright in Australia.
The future is fucking cold.
Oh, really?
I mean, if I was in Japan, which is technically kind of in our time zone, but in the northern hemisphere, it would be in the future and warm. But here, it's in the future and it's freezing, and I don't like the
That
cold.
we got another big super chat in there. I noticed. I didn't want to keep
Oh
him from
yeah. Okay. Beautiful. Let's see. Oh yes. Oh, it's Sarah Adamantine. You're awesome. Yes, proud club member. Except we're not the BDC here. We are the BTC, the Big Tits Club.
Big Tits Club, of
I don't know.
course.
that's a good thing to
Whoa.
promote since most of my viewers are males. But if there are a lot of
Oh,
trans males, it could be very successful.
yeah, and a lot of my detractors are probably expecting me to announce my transition at some point. I get a lot of jokes about that. Like, are you trans?
Really?
Yeah, it happens all the time. So, and it's funny to see Sir Adamantine here. I think this guy has actively stated I don't think he likes me very much. I think I've seen him on some of my social media.
Oh no!
So it's very, yeah. I really think that he's one of my my anti fans. I think that he doesn't.
Oh no,
He doesn't quite
sir!
like
What
me.
are you doing, Sir Adamantine?
No, it's okay. It's totally okay. Look, I'm not here to make everybody love me. I will definitely have my fair share of detractors. That's kind of a part and parcel of being a YouTuber. So
fair enough. Fair enough. Well,
Yeah.
he'll have to hit me up on Twitter later. Tell me what's the deal. What the deal is?
Of course,
So,
we'll get into the drama.
Yeah, we're gonna figure this shit out. So anyway, what have I got here to start? Yeah, so maybe I thought just to kick things off, you could tell us a little bit about your channel and the kind of topics you particularly like to talk about more than others. How long you've been around doing this?
So I think that I'm pushing. I'm just under 8 months doing YouTube, so it's been less than a year. And I started out with quite a few different inspirations. So I mean, I've been on YouTube. I've been a viewer of a lot of different people for like 10 years, and I started off, watching a lot of Thunderfoot and a lot of Amazing Atheists, and so the religion conversation was really important to me. And then before, I think, the atheist community up until like 2013, and then it kind of fell apart. I was watching a guy by the name of Cosmic Skeptic who goes, he's just Alex Connor on Twitter. He's a really great guy and he's super intelligent. And he was doing these atheism videos again, and they're fresh and they feel brand new. And I got this enthusiasm. I thought, oh God, I've been passionate about this subject for most of my life. Why don't I try to give this a shot? But then I kind of fell down the anti-SJW sinkhole after I felt deeply betrayed by the left, which I was very vehemently a part of. Over the course of 2016, I felt disaffected by my political conformists and my political allies, because I was noticing, this sort of cannibalization of the community. It started off with white males being this enemy, even if you were a feminist, and then it included white women. So then they were bunched in, and now it's like white gay men are now also that newly cannibalized group in the leftist community. And I didn't like the way that things were going. The behaviors were detestable, and I thought, you know what, I've got this passion for this conversation, and I want to see if I can maybe give this a shot. But I think that instead of talking about religion, which is something that I feel like there are already so much has already been said, and so many very prominent figures are already doing great work in that community, why don't I try to lend my voice to this this budding anti-SJW community? And so I started off doing that. For the first few months I did that, but then I kind of felt like I was responding to the same thing that 5,800 other channels were responding to as well. Riley J. Dennis uploads, and then everyone makes a video, and everyone uploads, and you just see Riley thumbnails for miles and miles and miles. And I felt like I was
he's great.
Oh, yeah, it goes on forever. But at the same time, I just thought, man, I feel like I like the idea of coming at an angle, at things from a different angle. And so I sought different avenues, and I ended up finding myself really a little bit more opposed to the alt-right and to white nationalists and to things like that. And I looked around and I thought, man, there aren't really a lot of people who want to take these people on, because these are people who sit around and think about race and IQ and culture all day long. They're not easy, right? They're not just showing their tits in public and marching and yelling, right? You can sit back and laugh at that, and that's all fun and everything, and it's very cathartic too, especially because this is these are people like feminists who have had a monopoly.
Yeah, we're above that. We're above that here on the Sugar Tits. We don't bring any attention to tits while we're talking about this sort of stuff.
Of course. There's absolutely nothing wrong with political humor, especially when people are being ridiculous. But like with the alt-right, I mean, these are like, these are dudes with a particular kind of haircut, and that's not me, you know, I know what my hair looks like. I'm not making fun of it. They all seem to have it, that sort of short thing with the little swoop. And
sure.
they're, you know, they're buttoned up, and I guess I'm buttoned up too. This is getting ironic all of a sudden. But these are guys that sit around in a library or like in an office because they, you know, they spend their lives committed to these ideas about race and culture and IQ and all these things about separating the different races of humanity, and they're very committed to that, and they reinforce that with real robust arguments. And it is not easy to just sit there and mock them. You have to really kind of like sit down and address these robust arguments. And so I've been more committed now to attacking the alt-right and white nationalists. And so now, as of late, that's what I do on my channel. So that is a long answer to a short question.
No, that's fine. That's good. That's very detailed description. So that's what I wanted, and I got it. But you touched on the fact that you did used to be quite a hardcore feminist sort of. Yeah. How did you come about that? I think I heard you mentioned you went to college and sort of got into that environment.
Yes, that was exactly what it was. Feminism gets introduced. I mean, I don't know what public schooling is like in other countries, but here the term itself was introduced to me in the 8th grade. I remember that was the first time that we ever touched on it.
Grade?
Yes, and
oh my gosh,
I was a year ahead, so I was 11, I think. And that is the first time that you ever see.
Telling you about feminism in the 8th grade.
They're covering it historically, to be fair, but that is the first time that is the first time that you're seeing the word in bold followed by a definition, and that definition is you know, the political or ideological belief that men and women are equal or should be equal or whatever, and it is that very cookie cutter run of the mill definition that you hear a lot from, especially from the politically uninitiated who talk about these things. Of course.
This is the trap. This is the bait that lures people into feminism, isn't it? It's the how can anyone be against male and female equality? That's just, why would anyone be against that, you know? And then you think, well, you're right. I'm all for that.
And also it sort of like becomes, or rather like it forces you to become associated with it, because and I told this story in an older video on my channel, but there was one of my university classes early on, like in my undergrad, where I had a professor who at the end of a class was very angrily doing this experiment where they came up to all the men in the classroom, and she would just kind of like point at them and very angrily ask, do you believe that men and women are equal? And then you, like, if you said yes, then she would say, well, then you're a feminist. And everyone said yes, obviously, because you don't want to say no. I mean, but the thing is, that's a very loaded question. It's an incredibly loaded question. In what way are men and women equal? We're not the same. I mean, there's a reason why reproductive laws are different for women. It's absolutely. But it's a loaded question. It's not that simple, but it gets packaged that way, and then it gets applied to you, and then you raise a generation of passive feminists, and so immediately you are working from a disadvantaged point if you're doing what we do, right? Where you're like trying to shed light on the silliness or even the malicious nature of some feminists, because people are already in that camp. They're already on that side of the field, not knowing that there's another option.
Absolutely, that's right. It's very black and white, isn't it? It's basically just what we said. Feminism is equality between the sexes, nothing more, nothing less.
And the whole ideology is framed in such a way that it invites this idea that everyone should be a feminist. And I talk about this on my channel too, where I think that there needs to be a barrier of entry, and the title needs to mean something based on works and not just belief, because in this way, feminism behaves more like a watered down religion. It's like watered down Christianity. Or as long as you buy into you know, oh, do you believe that Jesus is the son of whatever, blah blah blah, you're good. If you want to be a feminist, oh, do you believe that you men and women are equal? Boom, you're in. But you haven't done anything. You haven't donated your time or your money or your energy. You haven't read feminist literature. You haven't done anything that might actually qualify you to be a feminist in the way that like getting an education or training might qualify you to be a biologist or a physicist or a doctor. You can just become a feminist whenever you want. It's very easy.
Absolutely. Well, they have degrees now for that, don't they? That you can be qualified to be a
absolutely. And I think honestly, like if we're gonna have a thing where people are feminist, then there probably should be a degree. And sure, you're not going to get a job, but I mean, like that at least denotes that you did the work. And this title is yours because of the education that you've received, the training and the credentials that you have. You don't just get to become a feminist by agreeing to this very vague belief. But for me, I mean, obviously, like most other kids, I was a feminist, like a passive, thoughtless feminist. I was just a feminist because I saw that cookie cutter definition in public school when I was a kid, and it just kind of applied.
Yeah, fair. That's absolutely fair.
And also,
so when oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I also wanted the attention of all the girls in my class, and that was a really easy way to do that. Like okay, I don't want to speak for all men, but it is absolutely a way to get laid. It absolutely is. I mean, like oh god, and I can get really passionate about these things, and oh god, girls they just eat that up. It's come on.
I was watching this Bearing was showing me this video of now I've gone and forgot the name, which is terrible, but it was addressing a Joy Sparkle video, a BuzzFeed video.
Oh, god, Joy Sparkles.
Yeah.
That
but she was
sort of like lunatic a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. a little bit unhinged. Still something going on there. But she was addressing this BuzzFeed video where it's basically shaming this beta male. For being creepy and stuff, and obviously the dude's got social anxiety, and he doesn't know how to interact with women. But I forget my point. I completely forget my point. But
we were talking about getting laid with feminism, I think, or like men wanting to use, or like at least for me.
Absolutely, yeah.
I guess that's what, I don't know. Was there like a connection?
There was a connection, but fuck me, I've forgotten. But so
it's okay.
Move it on. Yes, it was hilarious. Anyway, it was hilarious. But anyway.
But yeah, well, I was going to go on with it was at university when this was really cemented for me. Because then you're actually taking these women's studies classes, and then you're actually you're sitting down and ingesting this feminist literature, and you're I took a women's studies course where they were really drilling into us this idea. Oh yeah. Oh well, god, I was a sociology major from my first year.
Wow. Did you get looks? Did you get shaming looks from the other females in the class? Like, we know why you're here.
No, not at all. I was really into it, and it was genuine. It was genuine. And, And I was the kind of person that would like sort of get into fights with his friends when they would say like passively sexist things, and I was that guy. Like they tell you.
You were one of those. Okay.
Oh yeah. They equip in the classroom to take sort of this worldview that gets constructed in a bit of a bubble, and they equip you to take that out into the real world when you go back home from school, when you interact with your friends in your hometown or whatever. They want you to spread that out, and they tell you to prepare to have difficult discussions with people who do not see the world as clearly as you do. And it is this idea that you have a responsibility to illuminate people who do not know what you know, and who have not learned what you've learned in these courses. And that's where a lot of this, like I tweeted out a picture today of a woman who had a poster or like a sign that said, "White silence is violence." Well, that doesn't exist in a vacuum, right? This is coming from the classroom environment. They are telling you that inaction is equivalent to equal doing
absolutely
it's equal or worse than So it's this is all coming from classrooms. This is coming from universities, at least here in America. It is being perpetuated by the leftist blogosphere. Right, of just like run-of-the-mill cookie-cutter articles from BuzzFeed or HuffPo or whatever, opinion pieces from Washington Post, and it festers and it grows upon itself. It's very interesting, and that's where I was fully indoctrinated, was in my university. And so the girls in there loved that I was in there, because I would call out the guys in there that were just taking it for like an elective course.
Right.
If they said something like marginally sexist, I mean, I was popular. I actually recently got in a fight on Facebook with an old friend of mine who I took those courses with.
Mm-hmm.
She's a very active, she's a Black woman, activist, BLM, very intelligent, just sort of very caught up in this worldview that I think we would disagree with. And I got into a spat with her because we were talking about Charlottesville, and she was telling her friends, she just said, oh, he's a troll. And I was like, that's so weird because you used to respect what I had to say. And I forget what she told me. Oh yeah, she said that he used to be woke. That was like the quote. He used to be woke.
You've gone back to sleep.
And then I've gone back to sleep. Yeah, and so this is where it all comes from, is the university. And that's where I was fully indoctrinated. And I'm talking like I'm carrying around feminist literature, and I'm reading it on my way to class and at home. And what sort of took me out was what I was saying earlier, was that professor who came up to all the men individually in a classroom and said, do you believe that men and women are equal? Yes. Mm-hmm. Then you're a feminist. Next one, do you believe that men and women, and so on and so on. When that happened,
they're so good at that, aren't they? They're so good at tying ideas to your character. So if you think or feel a certain way about a particular issue, that directly means, that you are yourself a racist or a sexist or a bigot. There's no blurred line in their eyes.
No, absolutely not. And that comes from this idea that their politics are more moral than the politics of their opposition. And I've touched on this a little bit on my channel. I think that is the root of, I think, a lot of our political woes in the modern political climate, is that people have attached, or even they're unable to differentiate their morality from their politics. And this is what creates this intense division and this intense hatred of the other. Because what you've done now is you've painted yourself as this sanctimonious, sanctimonious being a sort of a negative word, but you think that you are moral. Therefore, the people who do not think the way that you do are immoral. And how are you supposed to reconcile with your opposition? How are you supposed to find common ground when you literally think that the people on the other side of the aisle are evil? And that's what we're dealing with.
It's a very, very effective strategy, isn't it? That shaming tactic, because people who maybe aren't very confident, don't have very big self-confidence and know who they are, they'll buy into that. They'll be like, oh no, did I say something racist? Was I accidentally sexist? I don't want to be that. I don't want to do that. Better do what you say,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what they would want. That is the ideal world of the SJW, is a world where the privileged class is constantly working against its own interest.
That's right, and that's just where with businesses as well, because it's simple. They don't want to have bad PR. They don't want to have a bad image. They don't want to lose money. So best stay on the safe side than risk bad publicity.
Absolutely, and liberalism is very palpable to the masses. It's really convenient and easy to market. There's little risk because I think the narrative is that liberalism is the more compassionate kind of way to look at the world. It's the more gentle and kind way to look at things, and so Audi will advertise the myth of the wage gap during the Super Bowl, one of the most viewed events ever. Will shamelessly and without shame just completely advertise the wage gap. Casting fireballs and shit. But, because they know there's no
some mages are more equal than others.
Looks like we have a super chat, by the way. I don't want to.
Oh, you're very good at keeping track. You're better than I am. Native Kekistani, egalitarian is the way to live, equal until proven otherwise. There you go.
And I think that there's I don't know if I can build off that too much, but there's this thing that I wish that we could communicate more to the world outside of the anti-SJW community, because we are a bit of a bubble in ourselves, I think, and there are millions of people that are consuming the content that people like you produce, or like Bearing or anybody like that, and you know, a lot of the things that you do are in jest and comedy, but there is still stark commentary happening.
Yeah.
But even then, despite the fact that we're offering things that are opening people's eyes to a different way of seeing the world, we are still being painted as that less compassionate, less humane, I guess, group of people. We're always going to be painted as less moral than our leftist counterparts, and it frustrates me, because I think the idea that we want, that what we really want, is a world where anyone can speak, where nobody is going to be shamed into silence, where everyone has equality of opportunity. That to me seems more noble than a world where people are controlled, and are constantly fighting their own impulses out of this sort of deeply ingrained sense of shame and guilt that is learned, that is not real. So it's very frustrating for me as somebody who, you know, for better or worse, takes this whole thing very, very seriously, because I think that we are the more compassionate people, because I mean, not only one, are we disaffected, we're a small community and we have to sort of stick together, but I think we're trying to build a world that is more fair and more welcoming, and truly more inclusive in a way that matters.
Yeah, and I mean, not to mention that I feel that a lot of you know, YouTubers, especially on, well, if you call it, say, sides, on our side, are more willing to engage the opposite side in debate and conversation, as opposed to just blocking and ignoring, because it's not like we see these people and we hear these ideas which we disagree with and we think, oh, you're a shitbag human being, piece of garbage, I don't want to even interact with you, you know? It's like, okay, that's some weird shit. That's a weird fucking idea. Where the fuck did you come up with that? Please explain. Tell me. Make me understand. I don't get it. You know?
Yeah.
That's healthy. That is such a healthy thing. And for companies like Google and YouTube now to be trying to just absolutely make us, our different opinions disappear, and it just stop this engagement of ideas. It's such a shame.
Yeah, I think that we need to communicate to the powers that be, that we're not bad people, that we have good ideas, that we're open to debate, and that we just want to foster a community that that is open for anybody to come in and to speak. And so right now, I think that the community, I mean, if people can truly be connected by their anti-SJW-ness, I think that the community is at a really important kind of a crossroads right now, because I think that we need to put on our best face, because we're a bit under attack.
Oh, you know, that makes it extremely difficult for me, being a vulgar, swearing cartoon.
But you're Australian, so it's fantastic. Every time you say cunt, it's fantastic. It's just so perfect. I can't.
I'm taking the word, okay? That's what feminists don't understand. Like, I'm not being derogative of your vaginas, okay? I am raising the vagina by taking back the word. It's like
you're taking the power.
I'm taking the power.
There's another super chat, just so in case you missed it.
Yeah, I did see that. Root, HKR, root. It's easier for people to just believe than to learn. Just as Orwell's in 1984 states, the real question is, how do you push equality of opportunity and not equality of outcome? Hashtag Mage Lives Matter. I like that. Very good. Very well. Yeah.
The fantastic thing about equality of opportunity is that that is a landscape that you can control, or that you can very clearly work towards, right? You can measure that. Inequality of outcome is something that is a lot more complicated, and then there might actually be, in certain institutions, cases where women are being discriminated against, or people of color are being discriminated against, and if we can demonstrate that, then it is a responsibility of the people involved in that institution to make sure that it is about having an equal playing field. But I don't think that it's so difficult to establish a landscape where people's abilities, their humanity, their character, those things are what is valued more than their genitals or their color of the skin.
Well, speaking of institutions presenting an equal playing field, I'll just bring this screenshot up here. And this is a lovely little tweet put out by YouTube creators, which I'm sure everyone will find incredibly hilarious. like what the hell are you talking about? Do you not realize what you're doing at the moment and you're tweeting this shit? Okay.
Am I able to see that somewhere? Or... Oh, there we go.
There we go. Popped up. Oh, wait, go. Okay. YouTube creators tweets. Discusses the importance of leading by example and standing up for your beliefs. Freedom of speech is important to promote tolerance and accept others. Your project. So on that note, I'd like to touch a little bit on what Google is doing and more, essentially more what YouTube is doing to creators like us. I know you just did it. Well, I think might not have been your last video. A couple of videos ago, you did a video called "YouTube is Dead."
Yes.
Where you talked a bit about this, and so not only are they demonetizing certain channels, which for a lot of people is their income and lifestyles, which may cause people to feel demotivated. They are also making it harder to find our channels. Is that correct?
That's something that was in the policy, which I can get into, but we got another thing from Native Kekistani.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Super chat.
Native Kekistani. Is this Contra without the pink wig? He reckons you're Contra without
the pink wig. To be fair.
Yeah, lots prettier than Contra, okay?
Contra and I have never been in the same room, so make of that what you will.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So yeah, the whole YouTube thing. Okay, so like the demonetization, I think is connected to, but not exactly the same as the new policies that are getting rolled out from YouTube, because the demonetization is I don't think anybody is going specifically into these channels and demonetizing videos, because there isn't a consistency with them. I got hit about half of my videos were demonetized, which is actually
it's a bot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a bot. It's got to be a bot, because it's hit so many people so fast, and it isn't consistent. I have videos that are a little bit more inflammatory, even though my content is just fucking tame by all standards. I have some that aren't being demonetized that I would expect to be, and some that I would not expect to be demonetized getting demonetized. There isn't a consistency. It is obviously a bot. It's moving too fast for this to be an intentional thing. And people are already talking about how a lot of that's getting rolled back. And so I think that what we're experiencing right now are the tremors of the instability of a changing landscape, but it doesn't necessarily mean the end of everything. I don't think. I think that and also.
Oh no, it's a shake-up. It's a shake-up. And I have mentioned this before. It could be, well, it must be as well, YouTube pandering to try and get the big advertisers back. They want to,
Yeah. And I think that like, I mean, for channels that have news and politics clicked on to their sort of subject, we're obviously going to be in a realm of YouTube that I don't think gets as many views as the Jake Paulers or the gamers or the makeup tutorials, right? So I don't think, I mean, maybe they're just cutting their losses and it's like, okay, we're not that important to the revenue intake of the company. And so they can just sort of like do broad brush demonetizations, make the landscape more safe for these big companies. I don't like it. I get it, but it's obviously a bot, and it doesn't strike me as something that is deliberate. And it's already getting rolled back for a lot of people.
Something else I noticed as well is that bigger channels that make YouTube a lot of money, they're sort of getting away with things a bit more than channels that don't.
Oh, absolutely. People bring up all the time that video about parents talking to their children about masturbation, like not that being on the and it's like, okay, well then where are the lines here, and what are the parameters that we're working with? Obviously it's very difficult to make that clear, but I would like to see more. I mean, I think everyone would like to see more effort on YouTube's part to make that clear.
Let's hope so. Let's hope this is a I know it's difficult to see that when you get things like the Google memo but I mean, you have to take into consideration these are businesses, and like we said, shaming tactics are you know, it's bad PR, and Google, sorry, not Google, all businesses will want to avoid bad PR at any bloody cost. So
absolutely.
I'm hoping that over some time this will disappear. People will not be talking about it as much. And yeah.
The one thing that I will say that I think is going to have a lasting effect on our community is the policies that they were talking about in the memo that they put out about all this, where they will deliberately redirect viewers towards subjects that they want, towards creators who have been curated specifically by by YouTube. And so you go to YouTube Creators for Change and you see like Franchesca Ramsey, right? So I
was watching, just to interrupt you, I was watching your video and I had that on the big screen, and Bering walked into the room and he's like, "Oh, what's this? Who's this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's just the guy I'm talking to soon." And then just after that, the bit where you mentioned Franchesca Ramsey and her face popped up on the screen.
Use a big screenshot.
It's just gone, oh, and walked out the door.
I'm very impressed by her teeth. She has very white teeth. I'll give her that.
I'm not. Everyone's going to say you're racist. Okay.
Oh God, is that for real? I think she's.
No.
Okay, well.
What I'm going to say, right? What I'm going to say is it'll be controversial, but don't you think black people's teeth look whiter?
I think so. I think
yes.
that's
yes,
absolutely.
Thank you.
I think that's fair to say.
Okay,
but
thank you for not
Franchesca
shaming me.
She has absolutely not. I think she has a lovely smile.
Yeah, she does have. Yeah, but she's definitely getting the whitening. You know, she's a celebrity or whatnot. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
She's fantastic. Also terrible, but she's fantastic.
Oh, so terrible, so wicked. Did you hear about? Well, let me do this first. Doku, hi Doku. Here, have some oppression for your tits. Thank you. Reparation for enslaving us all those years, you patriarchal cock sucker. Sweeper Stephen, on behalf of the Lords of the Night, aka ranting monkey scribe light and some dumb American. I know what he's going to ask me. I have to ask you, do you still like tongue butter in the turtle cave? I know what this means now. Okay, I know what this means.
Was there ever any doubt?
Tongue in the butter turtle cave. Tongue butter in the turtle cave.
In the turtle cave.
No. I don't know, mate. Call me a prude, but I anus, that's shit. That's where shit comes from. No.
Yeah, it's a rump roast, as we like to call it here in the States.
Like, yeah. Well, there you
disgusting. Go. Unforgivable.
It's a bleach before you do that, or after you do that. But then, I mean, some people bleach their anuses as well, so that's another thing. But I am getting way off.
Whole different topic.
This is thank you for that super chat. I know. We kind of lost the track, didn't we? So there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel. I would, because I see a lot of YouTubers, especially ones who make a living of their channel, being discouraged by losing revenue and being demonetized, and it sucks balls. Don't get me wrong. I have had all but 2 videos of mine demonetized, and I have not challenged them yet, basically because I know what a raving cunt I am on my videos, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be like, fuck no, you are not getting monetized, you are not advertiser friendly. But it won't stop me from making videos. And I should hope it doesn't stop a lot of people from making videos.
Right, absolutely. And so I think what we're going to see, as we usually see, the sort of doomsday, sky is falling set of videos about all of this. And sure, we can sensationalize the topic. Even, I mean, I made my whole YouTube is dead thing, although I had very specific concerns about policy that I thought really did compromise the integrity of the landscape. But right now, what I feel we need to be doing is putting on our best face and showing in whatever way that we can to the powers that be that we affect positive change for millions of people. You know, it's the most unbelievable thing in the world when somebody comes to me, sends me a message and says, hey, you know, like, I see the world in such a different way because of the work that you do. It's so important to me. Thank you. I think this is magnificent. I can't see how another entity outside of our community could look in and see that there's so much positivity happening. So many lives are being changed in a good way, minds being changed in a good way, and see something bad happening.
Absolutely.
There was a super chat, by the way.
I did see that. Kakistan, I was just letting you go. I like divisive commentary. I like alternative points of view. Please move away from YouTube. The 937865543 sides oh, that's a big number. I don't know what the hell that means.
Sides 9 million, 93 million. Is that specific? Anyway, doesn't matter. Go.
I don't know.
Go
sides choose a destination or several destinations. And I'll follow. Well, that's the other thing as well. I think it's a good opportunity to be more diverse and get our videos out to as many platforms as possible, but not to completely desert YouTube. So
no, and I think that we can look at this as a challenge. I mean, how do we demonstrate to this platform, which is a fantastic platform for growing a brand and for accumulating a community. I mean, you know, not 6 months ago I had a couple hundred subscribers, and now I'm pushing 5,400, and that's very exciting for me, and that's incredible. And I couldn't have done this on Vimeo. I couldn't have done this on VidMe, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think that we need to try to preserve our place here and demonstrate that we're worth keeping around and that we are worth fostering. That we are not horrible people. With that said, and I think that I want to segue this into something that is going to be contentious. Because I'm working up, unfortunately, I'm going to be committing social suicide, I think this Wednesday when I release the video.
Okay.
I'm working up a response to AntiWar Ski, and I'm going to be taking him to task. And I don't want to do this because I like the guy. And but I have a lot to say.
Can I have a snippet exclusive on maybe a little bit on the topic of what you're going
of course.
into?
So the video is going to be a little bit big in talking about like why I think Andy was so effective at the time that he was so effective. Talking about how I think that a lot of ex-liberals were very angry, and we found catharsis in listening to someone who could vocalize that anger so well, like Andy. And so there's that. But I saw his video recently about how he's going to be like, oh, I'm not going to. You know, you thought that I was bad. I'm not going to hold back anymore now.
Yeah. He was pissed.
Like, okay, yeah, that's okay, fine. You're obviously very upset, but is that going to help us mend this situation, or is that going to further ostracize us? Are people going to look outwards from inside and say when he says in the video, you know, I bet if a man was in charge of Google, this wouldn't have happened. It's like that is blatantly sexist stuff, dude. You like that's not going to help anything. That's my position is that I don't think that getting angry and responding with more vulgarity that doesn't offer commentary, but it is just vulgar for the sake of it, or that it's even really funny. It's just kind of vile. But so that's why it's tough, is because like I like Bearing, I like Kisara Bear, I like your channel, I like some black guy who tend to be funny, and that are vulgar. But there's something about like Andy Worsey coming out and being doing or saying the things that he was saying. I thought like I don't think that you're going to be creating positive change. So I'm gonna have that.
I think
social suicide.
For the most part, he was venting.
Likely.
Yeah, like I
get it.
Yeah, I think what it really was to me as well, and I could relate to it a bit, was kind of like a like a battle cry a little bit, as well as a venting opportunity. Because oh gosh, don't get me wrong, when I woke up that morning and it was just like bam, yellow, 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 and it fucking pissed me off. But instead of, and I was thinking, oh, so angry, do I get on social media? Do I get on YouTube and just say fuck you? And I think I put out a good few tweets of humorous angry tweets of like a bear eating salmon with a YouTube logo on it, and Leonardo DiCaprio getting raped by a bear, and he's YouTube. stuff like that. But
I might have seen that one. I remember that one, I think.
Yeah, because I mean, it does sting in the ass. But you know, the thing is, if you have the viewers there, which we do, we have the viewers, we have people who are interested in our videos, and Bering was talking to me about this and reassuring me. He's like, there are sponsors out there who are ready to support us. We just have to chase them down. And for the most part, up until this point, I have been avoiding, you know, when you get emails from companies who want you to review a game or some beauty product or fucking whatever. You know, I'd been avoiding it just to maybe with this idea that people wouldn't like it, that it would make you seem cheap, like, oh, look, they're only doing it for the money, like, fucking sell out, like, but no, it's come to a point where it's if I want to continue my channel and putting in as much effort as I do into my channel, I do need to support myself. So fuck you. Yeah. You're going to be hearing about some shitty iOS games,
fucking
and
weird,
you're going to take it and you're going to like it. And,
Clash of Fire Kings Army stage, you know, some weird game like that.
What was the major quality?
Mage
Battle Mage. Yeah, Mage Lives Matter. New game, iOS, coming out 2017.
Absolutely, that'd be fun. I'd play that game. And yeah, like you were saying, and Bering was saying, that, you know, there are a ton of people in the community, and there are people that would be willing to invest in it. But at the same time, we have to display ourselves to be worth that investment. And so I think that right now we have to put on our best face. We have to say, look, sure, our views are a little bit countercultural when you're putting them up against the mainstream, and that can be scary. But look at how passionate these people are who are consuming this content. Look at how passionate these creators are. And so, you know, with AntiWar Ski, who I've been watching for a very, very long time, he and Bering were one of the first. Like, they were like the first few who caught me, and then, you know, it was just like a rabbit hole down the anti-SJW community, and then here I am. I'm on
laughing.
And,
you get them laughing, and then you got them by the balls.
Absolutely. And look, here I am now. I'm on a stream with one of these YouTubers, and I'm a YouTuber. Like, my whole life changed because of all that. So I mean, I never want to discount, you know, that I think that you know, in the case of AntiWar Ski, created a positive change for me, and I did enjoy his work for a long time. But I saw that and I said, you know what, I think that we need to mobilize these big communities. And with someone like him, who is one of the bigger names in the community, it's like, hey man, like, let's figure out a way, you know, instead of anger, instead of vitriol and all of these things, let's think about how we are going to turn the tables and turn this into a landscape that can continue to sustain you, so that you don't have to stop doing this, so that you don't.
I hear what you're saying. It's kind of like, you know, in the response to Antifa and the crazy far left, you got these people come out of nowhere who are extremely far right now. Like, they've been pushed by their anger, seeing, you know, fucking idiot Antifa breaking shit and doing dumb shit. And they've been pushed so much. They've been pissed off so much that they've been pushed further right than they may have been.
Absolutely. Those emotional responses. Those emotional responses are very much they only serve to defeat you, I think. And so I'm going to be committing huge social suicide when I make that video. That should be next week. And I'm going to try to be as respectful as possible. But, you know,
that's all right. Maybe you can get on and do a stream.
Maybe
and talk to Andy about it. I'm sure he would do that.
I'm already used to getting drowned in the alt-right hates me. They hate me. So I wake up every morning to fuck you faggot, if your fucking hair looks like lesbian fucking soccer coach, it just goes on and on. So I'm so used to it. It's harsh. The alt-right is they're very passionate, and they don't like me going after Tara McCarthy.
Oh, okay. I get this. So this is because you did the Tara McCarthy video.
Yeah, and I'm putting out a Tara McCarthy video tomorrow morning, so there will be another Tara McCarthy one, and I just can't wait to see her, all of the defenders of the alt-right den mother come after me with all the force of the internet.
Was Tara McCarthy the one who said half-breeds are like bestiality, like mixing?
Yeah, that like
like
I think that she put up a poll. It's like, since I think miscegenation is the term, and it's the idea that you have mixed like race babies or whatever. Like since that's like, since other races are like animals, like is that close to like bestiality? And early on, right? Because that tweet was like early on. It was leaning yes. Like most people agreed when it was just her audience, and then a lot of other people who don't like Tara McCarthy, like me, picked up on that, retweeted it.
You don't get a choice. You don't get a choice. I didn't have any control over who my mother and my dad was. So
Absolutely.
I am what I am.
It's so intense. But Tara McCarthy, like, she's another one of these, you know, very fair-skinned, like, marginally attractive women on the alt-right, and her fans are very defensive of her. I found that.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I have just been dealing with day after day.
You've been copying them. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. It's bad, but at the same time, nobody's really going after them. Like somebody's got to go after them, because especially with the video that I'm gonna put out tomorrow, you see like Tara McCarthy explains how she would like to establish the United States as a white ethno state, and she lays out her plan, and I'm like, look at like this is it's a demonstrative violation not only of the Constitution of the United States but of human rights, like defined by the United Nations, defined by the Geneva Conventions, all three of them. It's terrifying to think of what the world might look like if people like her or her political conformists were in any kind of power. But the thing is that it isn't easy to tackle the alt-right, and so I guess I'm kind of alone. I'm on a bit of an island. Here I am, like, you know, making response videos to AntiWar Ski, but also making response videos to Tara McCarthy, and so everyone hates me right now.
I have to watch more of her. So I've been avoiding her. She seemed a little bit loony after that bestiality thing.
Oh, you're spot on. You're spot on.
Yeah. So I guess, I mean, I'll have to watch more of her stuff to really understand where her head space is at. But
Absolutely.
Baron Cab says, I'm drinking with Jeff Holiday and a few others tonight. Wish you Aussie comes for you. Thanks, Baron Cab. I hope Jeff doesn't kick your ass for sending in the glitter bomb. It's stuff. Native Pakistani again. Tara McCarthy is a horrible person. She is a mixed breed alt-right person. She's a mixed breed?
Oh, Tara actually is of mixed race, which is ironic.
So she's got like a Hitler complex where she hates herself.
I think that she is like a little bit Indian, I think is what I heard. I didn't do enough research to know this for sure, but I think that she is a little Indian, but like mostly English. I think that she was born in London, if my research serves me. But the chat is saying that your mic is robotic. It's a little robotic.
I just heard that. Is it still quite robotic?
Yeah, you're a little bit underwater.
Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can fix this.
I'm happy to deal with it, but I think that the audience is going to be ravenous.
I'll try the old unplug replug method.
Of course.
Give me a moment.
It's the deep state. They're trying to silence you. Can't tell if Tits is roboting or if she's writing a Sibian. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you're crystal clear.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Writing a Sibian. Is it Sibian? What's the Sibian? Yeah, yes. One time I accidentally called it a Symbian, and I was getting so much shit for it. Like, oh, good. I'm glad.
Hashtag Sibian refugees matter.
What are you
Hashtag
talking about? Oh, but since we were talking about AntiWar Ski, one thing, when I had first heard of you, it was a stream Peach Bailey did, and she was reading out
yes.
your AntiWar Ski homoerotic fan fiction.
Yes, that's real. That did happen. And I bring that up in the video that I'm going to be producing for the whole Andy thing. I do bring it up because I don't want to pretend that I'm going to own it, right? I did that.
Yeah.
But let me tell you the story, because I don't sit here and write like homoerotic fan fiction about my favorite YouTubers. I've never done it. I do a lot of writing I am writing.
What inspired you to take that task on?
Well, Peach Bailey did, and I'm a fan of hers.
I love Peach. Yeah.
This was before I was anybody. This was before I was even on the radar, really.
Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm like trying to think of any way that I can create exposure for myself. And so I'm following all of my favorite YouTubers on Twitter. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to be overbearing. I want to see if I can find a way to overbearing. I want to see if I can find a way to like if I can interact. No, I realized way too late after I said
terrible. Continue.
Well, Peach said, "Oh, hey, I'm having a birthday stream next week. I'd like to. We're gonna read fan fiction. So send in your fan fiction." And she never said like sexual. She never said homoerotic. Nothing. It was just she just said fan fiction, right? But everybody jumped to that.
Yeah, that's how she gets you. She's she's a crafty one. That Peach. She got me on she got me on a stream. And it was a sexual fan fiction of me and Omegon, and
with the tentacles, right? The Cthulhu looking guy. The
tentacles, and I had to read that out, and we had to delete it.
Jesus, it's bad.
Too risque. Yeah.
Speaking of Omegon, I just watched your video with it. I was just watching it earlier today. The vagina.
That's an older one, actually. See,
is it an older one?
I've got this whole backlog of old bear videos that I, whenever I, I'm a bit lazy or something, I'll grab one of the old ones and then just redo it with the new bear.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I released that one, and he was wrapped actually. He was like, "Thank you for doing that," because my channel was, was stagnating a little bit, and I got a sub boost from you re-releasing it. So I was like, "Oh, that's good. That's fine."
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, from earlier in the stream, Sir Adamantine, I see him in chat, says, "Not all of your detractors are alt-right. Some of us just think you're a sleazy opportunist." So see, that's the guy that doesn't like me. I told you. He's
so there's some beef here. Okay.
I don't know what it is, but he just doesn't like me.
I need to delve into this more.
I need to delve into it.
And you tag me in that exchange because I want to see some drama. Native Kyrgyzstani again. Wow, thank you. She is a mongrel. Please include air quotes. Indian plus Jew, so the alt-right sort of love/hates her. She is pretty face to lure guys to the alt-right. Damn, it's always those pretty faces, isn't it?
Yeah, those pretty faces are terrible. I think you're roboting a little bit again.
Oh, really? Is it bad again?
It's a little bit. Yeah, I think it's every time the native Kyrgyzstani sends a super chat, which is kind of funny. It's really
okay. Hang on. See, usually if you leave the chat and then come back in, it fixes it for a good while. But not in this case. All right, I'll try again. One moment.
It's okay. They're calling you vibro tits now. That's really good.
How is that?
Perfect. You're back.
Okay. Well, at least I can fix it easy. Yeah, I'm sure there's some people who are loving vibro tits.
Vibro tits, Sibian tits. I heard somebody say earlier.
Robo tits. Robo tits fanfic inbound.
So speaking of, so fanfic, back on that. So Peach asked on Twitter for people to send a thing, and so I DM'd her. I was kind of nervous. I was like, oh god, I don't want to bother her, but it would be really fun if I could do this. Maybe it'll get me on the radar a little bit. And she was really sweet. She responded immediately. She's like, yeah, just get it to me by Friday, and all these things. And I was like, oh god, now I have to write this. And so I do a lot of writing. I'm currently close to finishing my own first sort of like the first draft of a novel that I've been working on for the better part of this last year. It's a horror Western, so that's usually what I write. I like to write horror.
Nice. Do you like pastors?
Pastors?
Pastors? Sorry, I'm sorry. Accent. Yeah, that's my accent. Do you like pasta?
I know who. I don't know. I read a lot of Stephen King, like everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Barry loves that shit. I
can't believe I misunderstood you so badly.
No, it's my fault. It sounded exactly like pasta. So
it's my uninitiated American ears.
It's my fault.
But I read a lot of that, and so this was not something that I'm used to. I don't even know how to write love scenes really, but I just did my best, and I wanted to make it funny, right? And so and it was also a little bit of a roast. You know, I had jokes when like the moment where Chris penetrates Andy. I remember I wrote Chris, like Chris shouts to him like bite the pop filter and like funny things like that. Or like I made a little jab at Andy's receding hairline in the middle of a paragraph, and like I think a few of them caught it. It's a roast. It's comedy. It's satire. It's also very, very, very homoerotic.
It was
shamefully so.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think I liked it.
I put my heart and soul on that thing. And they were cracking up. So that's very embarrassing now, because like here I am, like I'm wanting to offer this constructive criticism to Andy, but it's the only other thing that he knows about me is this fucking like
this
fanfiction. Yeah, like, oh man. So I feel like,
well, that's great.
I'm
you
in a
can
bad
hash
place.
it out. You can get on a live stream, hash it out. You know, have a little argument, have a little debate, and then you can, you know, get his thoughts on the second chapter of his homoerotic fan fiction.
Oh, God, I don't know if I could do that again. I don't know if I have the heart.
But something else I had to ask you. Have your guitars in the background when you do your films, your videos. So you're obviously a guitarist, a musician.
Yeah, I'm actually a student of music at my university, and I'm
oh wow, that's what you study.
I'm about to begin my last year. I study the most useless thing in the world. I study performance, but I'm really, really good at it, and I focus on the classical guitar. So my delicious $2,000 Cordoba C12 is off screen right now, but she's my pride and joy. And
can I see it?
Yeah, I can go get it right now. Just give me a second.
Yes, please. That's pretty cool. Damn, he's like better than me at classical guitar now. Like I'm like ashamed. See if we can get him to play something. Oh, it's packed away and everything.
Okay.
I'm back. Lovely. So do you have the freaky nails? You must do if you're doing classical.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but they're a little longer.
That's not too bad.
No. They've been a lot longer.
I've seen some people who play classical with their pinky, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I used to do the really long, but I found that I couldn't go as quickly with that. But I do a lot of.
Do you know? Have you ever heard of someone called John Butler? John Butler.
No,
Trio?
I haven't.
He's an Australian guy. I'll have to send you a link, and for people in the chat as well, if you want to look him up, type into YouTube John Butler Ocean Song. He plays this 12-string. It's
I love the 12-string.
The sickest piece of music. And he's so good too. And he's right into his tapping as well. Like tapping on different parts. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so good. But that's a beautiful guitar.
Yeah. So this is the C12. Really, really, really special. It's got the cedarwood top, the maple wood back, and this beautiful like I forget the wood, but there's a strip in the cedarwood is like kind of sharp and bright, and the maple wood is really dark. Sorry, this is rosewood. This is maple in the middle, and it really like balances the sound. And so I get very good, very deep lows that are clear, and then my highs are crisp and bright, and they ring. So this guitar is really, really fantastic. But
lovely, cool. Do you have a favorite type of classical like music?
Yeah, I like Southern American. So I studied a lot of Heitor Villalobos. Antonio Lauro, who I have like what's that? There's this one piece that I feel like I've heard a long time before, but let me see if I can get it right.
Oh, that's so nice.
Things like that, and
wow, that's awesome. Okay, that's it. Can I like steal you and you can be my little guitar monkey and teach me how to play these things? Actually, I'm gonna hit you up. See, I play a little bit. I don't know. Have you ever seen any of the tweets I posted or anything on Instagram?
Yeah, you were playing that. How does that piece go? I forget how it goes. Something like that.
Hang on a second. I don't think I'm in tune, but let me see if I can find it. If I'm in tune, I'll play it for you. See, my guitar isn't as nice as yours. It's kind of in tune.
That sounds all right from here.
So it's a drop D from standard tuning.
Right.
Hang on, I probably should take my earphone off when I'm tuning. I think that's about right. Does that sound right?
Yeah. That one, yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. I was learning that piece for a while, and then I just kind of put it aside.
Oh, it's a lovely piece.
I'm gonna be actually, because of you, because you had that video that you put out on Twitter, and I picked up the piece and I picked up the music. I'm gonna be doing that because every quarter at my university you have to do a jury for some pieces that you study. I do my own composition, which is not I do compositions of my own, which are not sort of, that's not standard for the program, but they let me get away with it because I sort of do it all the time. Like this last quarter, I was commissioned by the theater company to write original music for their play, and so I do a lot of that. But I also need like pieces that I have to learn from people, and so I'm going to be doing that when I'm learning it for my time before I go to school again, and then I'm going to have it ready so that I can do it. Because I love that piece.
Oh, it's so nice, isn't it? It's still one of my favorite pieces that I ever learned.
The last one that I did was one that I kind of forgot it because it was so complicated, and I just wanted to get through it. But I really want to get good at it. But it's this piece by Villalobos. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but he's a Brazilian, or he was a Brazilian composer. Really amazing music. But he has this one piece. It's called Chorros #1, I think, and it's a little cheesy, but it sounds like this. It goes
I like it. Oh, wow.
Something like that, yeah.
That's so pretty, isn't it?
But
That real
it's all
Brazilian
like Spanish, Brazilian, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the kind of jazzy. Do you like to play any kind of jazz stuff?
I don't do any like standards that are written, but I've learned a couple of pieces from like there's this one artist that I like called Nujabes. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's like a DJ. He died in like 2011, but he did all the music for like Samurai Champloo. And there's this one piece that I from him called the Rorian Dance that I learned, and so I'm hoping somebody in the chat recognizes it. But it goes like this. It goes I forgot that part. Something like this.
That's very much you love that sort of style, don't you? Even the Brazilian classical and the Brazilian jazz.
Yeah, and then in the song itself that Nujabes does, this is where like the beatboxing kicks in with the.
What? That's cool.
But I don't do that when I'm performing professionally. But yeah, just
get one of those what do you call it, the machines that you records it.
And then I do free tempo. I could do that, but the old people that that pay me to play for them don't appreciate that stuff.
Fair enough. Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, things like
we're gonna have to do private sessions now, like, and you can teach me some stuff.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So here's your super chat, Root HK. La Cathedral, I believe that's what it's called. Can you play it?
La Catedral.
La Cathedral. Do you know that one?
No, I don't know if that's the one. The one that you were playing was called what exactly again?
No. I
might have saved it on a.
Yeah, I have it saved somewhere. I can't think off the top of my head. I'm sorry.
I also do not remember. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, I always forget the name. If you ask me on Twitter, I will look it up.
But I mean, it sounds familiar. Like that piece is
Yeah.
gorgeous, and I'm definitely going to be learning that.
Oh, it's lovely. Well, there you go. So, I got my question excellently answered then. And then the last thing I had here. Oh yeah, okay. So you mentioned your very first video you did something on Riley Dennis, and he blocked you. Are you still blocked?
No, I'm not blocked by Riley anymore. I see Riley on Twitter, and I give Riley shit all the time because Riley sometimes says some really ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
But no, Riley. I think that that was at a time when I don't know what the hell goes on in Riley, and I'm almost not even interested anymore. I feel like I can leave Riley to anyone else, and 9 times out of 10, someone is going to have a perfectly valid and irrefutable defense or rebuttal to Riley, and it's fine. And I just don't want to get lost in that pile, right? I'd rather leave that alone. It's fine. I'll talk shit on Twitter, but that's it. That's as far as I want to go with Riley anymore.
Well,
it's exhausting.
It is exhausting, absolutely. But the last thing is, someone mentioned that you have a very sensual voice, and that you could be a very good sex phone operator. Because now I've had this said to me before as well, that you could very much make a living out of being a phone sex operator. So just to close off our stream, I thought we'd have a little fun with this.
Yeah, of course. Roaming Millennial, I remember called it. She said the phrase that she said was audible chocolate, I think was what she called it. So
sexual audible chocolate. For sure. So I'm going to bring up something here, and we're just going to read it. And it's the most unsexiest piece of writing that I could find.
Okay.
And we're just going to alternate and take turns to see who can make it the best sexually, and then we'll see who wins. The chat will vote. Okay.
All right. Okay. You've got home field advantage.
And I'm not roboting, am I? Because I don't want to have the Symbian effect.
Symbian.
I do the Symbian. I always say fucking Symbian. Symbian effect, because that's cheating.
You are Symbian free.
Okay. Excellent. All right. So, are you seeing that? Is that
yes, I am.
For you? Yeah. Okay.
How to properly? I could do a movie trailer voice. The whole like the whole one man, one chance thing.
Yeah.
How to properly clean a toilet, kind of thing, I suppose.
So
there's our introduction.
I wanted to have some background music, but obviously that makes things difficult because it would be more effective. But
I could play something kind of if you want. I could play some like elevator music.
Do that.
What can I do? Like maybe I'll just improvise like a.
Very good. All right, so I guess I'll start off, and then you can do number 2. Okay. You can do number 2. Okay. How to clean the toilet. Here's how. Number 1, remove everything from around the toilet. Cleaning the toilet is a messy job, and there's always the chance of splashing cleaner or toilet water outside of the actual toilet. Prevent extra cleanup by removing all excess items from around the toilet. Don't forget to remove anything on top of the tank to prevent dropping items into the bowl during cleaning. Number 2.
Okay. Oh man, I'm so embarrassed. Okay. Let me get into character here. Flush and add a cleaning solution. Flush the toilet with the lid down to prevent splashing or spraying. Add your choice of powdered, liquid, or gel cleanser to the bowl. Try to apply the cleaner as close to the toilet rim as possible to prevent diluted cleanser.
That's very good.
I can give myself a...
Yeah. We got an ad right there. Oh well, we'll probably leave it there. I'd say.
Yeah, it's perfect because you just started roboting again.
Well, there you go. Very good. Very good.
Get off that Civian, tits. We're doing a live.
Say, it's just so damn enticing. Okay, am I still screen sharing? Am I? No, I'm not screen sharing. Okay.
No.
So am I roboting as well? Is that still happening?
A little bit, yeah. The robo tits, as they say. Which is cool. I think I want to see some fan art, some robo tits fan art would be really cool.
That too. Is it fixed?
Yes, Optimus tits. Is what
Optimus Prime tits. Excellent.
Yes.
Well, everyone, please go check out I think my Sugar Tits Are Reels channel. I've left the link in the description. Yeah, go check him out. There's some good stuff on there. And thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. You'll have to get back to me on which one of us won the sexy toilet cleaner competition.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I won. I'm just making it clear. I don't
we'll have to see.
Up myself or anything, but we'll see. Fair enough. Thank you, chat. Thank you for everyone who nipped in a buck or two for the tits. And thank you for watching. And more videos coming soon. Promise. I will not be a stream channel solely. Thank you. All right, say goodbye. See ya.
See you later. Bye-bye.